Remedy is a way to compensate or correct wrongdoings. Under the UN Guiding Principles, remedy is associated with counteracting human rights harms. It may include apologies, restitution, rehabilitation, financial or non-financial compensation, and criminal or administrative punitive sanctions. It may also involve preventing harm via commitments, injunctions, and guarantees of non-repetition. The appropriate process for raising business-related human rights abuses and ensuring their remedy is through grievance mechanisms, which can take various forms. Corporate grievance mechanisms operate at company or industry level and tend to provide a dialogue-based remedy. These mechanisms allow direct representation of workers by unions and are an opportunity to solve complaints before they escalate to other levels of conflict. Unions have a role to play in advocating for these mechanisms to be transparent, to guarantee a fair process, and to produce outcomes consistent with human rights standards. They can also demand a channel for suppliers and subcontractors' workers to raise concerns. To ensure equal representation, unions can require companies to provide capacity building for workers on how to use the mechanism, as well as technical expertise support throughout the process. Union efforts can also be coordinated to organize across the supply chain so that there is a unified front to raise common grievances and negotiate with the company. State grievance mechanisms are handled by government administrative and legislative bodies, labor inspectorates, mediation bodies, and complaints offices. They can be combined with submissions before the OECD national contact points and national human rights institutions. Remedy tends to be mediation-based. Judicial grievance mechanisms are driven by court systems. Given the length and cost of proceedings, courts are often seen as a last resort forum, but have advantages in terms of enforceability and broad investigative powers to assess human rights violations. In both state and judicial grievance mechanisms, the role of unions is to draw the attention of state authorities and courts to human rights violations in a company's operations or in its value chain, highlighting its responsibility for the abusive practices of its suppliers and subcontractors. A gradual conflict escalation strategy entails moving from one grievance mechanism to another if no agreement is reached, bearing in mind that legal action can be taken at any point in the process.